Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. Coming off the post-Survivor Series Monday Night Raw. Got a lot of questions here regarding Raw, TNA Turning Point, as well as Survivor Series and some future topics. So let's get started here. First one today comes from CWA Alliance. Hey Aaron, what did you think of TNA's Turning Point episode? I thought it was a great show, other than the Joseph Park segment was lackluster, and I'm glad to see Aces and Eights finally put to rest. I give this TNA Turning Point show a thumbs up just for the fact that Aces and Eights are no more. Thank goodness it is done. I'm happy with how it ended. I'm glad that Mr. Anderson got the big win and got to hold up all the cuts. And, it was a little bit over the top, especially when Taz was handing over his cut. It was very goofy and cartoonish a bit. But overall, I was really happy with the segment. And the match was very good. And, overall, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the James Storm versus Bobby Roode match and the whole storyline with Gunner throwing in the towel and setting up a possible feud between those two. And the Dixie Carter stuff was fine. I didn't really get the whole Joseph Park segment with Daniels and Kazarian. I'm really hoping that, like the Aces and Eights storyline, the Joseph Park thing will be put to rest soon and he'll go back to being Abyss once and for all, because I think that the Joseph Park thing has gone on for way too long. It was funny the first couple of months, and then it started dragging out. So, I like the direction overall that TNA's moving in and doing the best they can to just try and focus on their product and not try and compete with WWE and not try to go on the road. They're back in Orlando now, and they need to work on just fixing the product and trying some different things. So no problems with this show, and overall I definitely give it a thumbs up. All right, this one comes from Showstopper526. Hey Aaron, so we're getting the unification match at TLC. Do you think that this is a waste of a good WrestleMania match? I feel like it's just a plot for WWE to get a good buy rate for a shit pay-per-view. Well, I was definitely surprised when they announced the match for TLC. I figured that it was going to be the big main event at WrestleMania. But perhaps WWE has something even bigger planned for WrestleMania that we don't know about at this point. I mean, that's definitely a possibility, and I'm really hoping so. Because if they do this match at TLC and they don't really have anything lined up for WrestleMania, then I think it would be a bad decision to do this match at TLC, and I don't really think it's going to make that much of a difference in terms of the pay-per-view buy rate, but I could be wrong. I mean, it is a huge match for the TLC pay-per-view, and I think it'll definitely at least get the casual fans interested in buying that pay-per-view. I think the smart fans will know better, especially with WWE's recent track record of pay-per-views. But I think TLC will be a good show. The TLC pay-per-views in general have been consistently good, so I think this pay-per-view will break the streak of bad WWE pay-per-views, and I'm definitely hoping so. And that match should be very interesting. We've seen just about every John Cena, Randy Orton match, from Hell in a Cell to Iron Man to No Holds Barred. So we're getting the big TLC tables, ladders, and chairs match between those two. And, like I said, perfectly fine with them doing this match now if we're getting something bigger at WrestleMania and they have something huge in store for the fans for that pay-per-view. All right, this one comes from Bobby Roode Fan 7. Do you see a screwy finish at TLC where John Cena and Randy Orton both grab a title? There's been a lot of speculation. A lot of people pointed out that they never actually mentioned the word unification on Raw. John Cena did mention that there should be one champion, but other than that, I mean, there wasn't any definite indication that this is in fact going to be a unification match. I really hope they don't do something like that where each guy grabs a belt and, it's an indecisive finish. That would be a complete disaster. But I definitely have that fear that they might try and pull something like that, and I really hope that's not the case. I hope that we get a decisive winner, and quite frankly, I think that it's time to just unify the titles. If you're not having the brand extension, then what's the point? You should really have one definitive champion. that's on both shows defending the title. I think that's the best way to go at this point. But yeah, I could very well see something happening. Maybe there'll be two titles, and one guy will be holding both belts for a while, and then it'll split again. I mean, that's a possibility as well. So I mean, time will tell what direction WWE is going in. But if it was my decision, I would just unify the titles at this point and have one champion, and we'll see what happens with it. All right, this one comes from Javier Maiden Spa. Hey Aaron, great job with the videos. After Roman Reigns' performance at Survivor Series, what do you see him doing at the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania? Well, I definitely see big things for Roman Reigns in 2014. I don't think he's going to have any kind of big singles match at WrestleMania. I like what they're doing where they're slowly building up the Shield and teasing dissension amongst the group and not just having it come out of nowhere. I mean, WWE's done a tremendous job with how they've handled the Shield. And, I like the fact that they're playing it slow. And I think your best bet for WrestleMania would be either the Shield versus the Wyatts or doing the Shield in a triple threat match, and at that point you can have Roman Reigns defeat Dean Ambrose for the United States title and start his big climb to the top as a top babyface. So I mean, that's what I think is most likely for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and maybe the Royal Rumble would be a good showcase for him to go out there and eliminate a bunch of people, and maybe you could have Dean Ambrose turn his back on Roman Reigns and eliminate him, and that'll further tease the dissension amongst the group. So, I mean, that's something you could do for the Royal Rumble. Something similar to like when Diesel was in the Rumble, he eliminated everybody, and I think Shawn Michaels helped eliminate Diesel. Something like that you could do to get that feud going between Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. All right, this one comes from Or You Swear To. Hey Aaron, longtime viewer and first-time asker. When do you think WWE decided to continue with the Undertaker's streak? There's no way they knew it would happen from the start, obviously, but around when did you think they decided to keep it alive? Please answer in video. Well, I'm not sure if they mentioned something at WrestleMania 17 or not, but definitely by WrestleMania 18, I think that it was clear WWE was keeping track of the streak, and so was Undertaker. After he defeated Ric Flair, he held up the 10 fingers, to signify that he had 10 wins in a row at WrestleMania, or 10 straight wins without a loss. So it was around that time that I definitely noticed them mentioning the streak and that he was undefeated at WrestleMania. All right, last question today comes from Joe Philippe 315. Hey Aaron, love the show. If you had to choose between Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, who would be the next WWE champion? Who would you choose and why? Which one of them is, quote, best for business? Well, CM Punk already had a very lengthy reign as WWE champion, and I would absolutely keep CM Punk in the WWE title picture. But I think I would have to go with Daniel Bryan at this point. He's the one that really has the momentum. At least he had the momentum. I still think he has it. I still think the fans want him to be in the main events, despite what WWE's trying to do and keep him out of the title picture. You got to go with what the people want. And Daniel Bryan is a guy who the fans are firmly behind, and the people love the guy. So why not push him to the top and let him, be the top guy? I mean, yes, he is short. He doesn't have the bodybuilder look that Vince loves so much, but you got to go with what the audience wants. They're the paying customers, and the old saying goes, the customer is always right. And, I think maybe Vince is a little bit out of touch, and he still has this 1980s mindset where you have to be this larger-than-life character. But, I mean, that's not necessarily the case. And the thing is, you don't know until you try. WWE needs to go out there and just give Daniel Bryan the opportunity to run with the ball and be the top guy for a while. And if it doesn't work out after 6 months to a year, then at that point you shift gears and go in a different direction. But, they didn't even give the guy a chance. He had the title for one day, and then they stripped it from him, and then he lost it again. I mean, his 2 title reigns were what? A day or two combined? I mean, it was ridiculous. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure you send in your nominations for the 2013 NoDQ.com year-end awards. Go to NoDQ.com for more details on that. And I will see you guys next time for more No DQ&A video.